One thing I want you to know is that in this video, we're not going to be just talking about theory or top level ideas, and instead we're going to be building a real agent together, a content research assistant. And we're actually going to be making it more powerful for each level up across the process. In fact, here's the whole map. I call it the 4 T's. Now, T number 1 is to teach. And so this is where you're going to teach Claude your business in Claude. That's actually called like a project. And level 2 is we're going to train. We're going to train it on your process and the step-by-step to do the entire research for you. And then level 3, we're going to add tools to the mix. And so this is where you're going to be able to do the research. It's going to connect to the internet. It's going to search for you. And then it's actually going to send you an email draft so you have it all in one place. And then level 4, this is going to be trigger. And this is when you put it on a trigger or a schedule so that every Monday morning you're getting this research without you even having to ask. It just does the whole work for you all in one end. And so we're going to teach it, we're going to train it, we're going to tool it, and we're going to trigger it. One quick note is the report that you just saw me intro this video with is for my own channel. And to make today really, really simple, I'm actually going to be building one from scratch. And we're going to use a real estate agent just as an example as well. But the whole point is that you can swap any of this information in for your business, just like I did. Okay, let's teach it. Most people use AI like a stranger, where they're re-explaining their business and the context every single time they have a conversation. Level 1 fixes that. We give Claude full context and memory of who we are. And so in Claude, we consider this a project. And on the left-hand side, you have these projects. You're going to click on that. And here's what you're going to do is create a new project, and you're going to name it your business or what have you. I'm just going to do something a little bit different and say Austin Real Estate, because that's the idea and the example I'm working with today. And so from here, there's a couple things you're going to do. And the first thing you're going to do is scroll down here to instructions, and we're going to add a new instruction here. There's a few ways that you could do this, but for the sake of this video and making it as simple as possible, we're going to go to instructions, and then we're going to paste this. And what this is an instruction for you. And actually, don't even worry about like trying to copy all of this right here. I have a free guide that you can grab at the end of this video as well. But what happens here is we are giving this project instructions on how to operate into how to find information for you. And so you can see a few different things. Like for this instance, I'm saying I'm a real estate agent in Austin, Texas, and here's your job. Help me create Instagram content that generates local leads. That's the end goal for this agent that you're going to be creating. And what's really interesting about this is we do want to be kind of specific, meaning here's the things that I'm looking for. Reels, outreach, static posts for this particular one. And then I'm optimizing for saves, shares, and DMs. I really don't care about likes. I'm looking for people who like this, they're going to share it, and they're going to save it for themselves as well. And so once I feel good about this, I'm going to click on save instructions. And for you, you're just going to input whatever it is about your business. Maybe you are a residential real estate agent, or maybe you're a plumber, or maybe you're a cleaner, or maybe you just do something completely different than those. Whatever it is, you just add your niche and your business context here. So you're going to click save instructions. And then at the top of the page is a section where you can start chatting with the project. And at this point, I'm just going to say, what should I be posting about this week? And while this works, it's going to be doing a few different things. Obviously, it's going to be thinking to start, but as it's thinking, it's doing research on the web, and it's looking for resources to help you identify what could actually be a good piece of content. So you can see all of the things that it's researching right in real time, everything from the luxury playbook, Austin real estate market, and it's doing all this research. And what's crazy is I don't live anywhere near Austin, but it's able to help me put together all of this. And just like that, we have an entire snapshot of the market as well as ideas. And here is the angle this week. The buyer's market everyone's been coasting on is quietly tightening. Supply is dropping fast. So it's done all of this research to show us what is trending today in the area based off of news and articles and what's happening in real time. It gave 5 post ideas, everything from posts and reels. And this very first one, everyone says Austin is a buyer's market. May's number says that is changing. And so it's in real time, getting all the data all in one spot so that you, if you were a real estate agent in Austin, you can create some very quick reels just like this. So level 1 made Claude understand and know my business. And because it's a project, I never have to re-explain or repeat myself ever again. That part is completely handled. But knowing my business isn't the same thing as doing a repeatable job that it can run for me. My project, it still can't guarantee that the exact same report and how it appears and how it's delivered to me shows up the same every time I prompt it. So I can't hand that project off to an automated agent or do anything outside of this one conversation, and I definitely can't schedule it. So level 2 fixes both. We take my exact process and package it into a skill that you can use. Now, a skill is just a file that holds my steps and the exact report I want at the end. And mine does 6 things. First off, it researches the market, and then it finds the angle and it looks for a competitor signal, and then it writes those 5 post ideas for me, creates a checklist, and then finally renders it in a visual way so that we can see what we want at the end, and it looks the same across every time we prompt this. Now, the biggest difference between a project like we just created in level 1 and a skill like this is that a skill is portable. You don't have to live in one project. You can do it across the entire platform, whether you're in a different chat conversation or you're creating a co-work task later, or you go crazy and add this to Claude Code. A skill is something that is portable, that takes place in every aspect of Claude, and you don't have to make it into one project. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to a brand new chat conversation, and I'm going to say, build my weekly content plan. So now I'm going to go back to the Austin real estate project just to show you what happens here. And I'm just going to say, build my weekly content plan. And as it's working, it's going to do the exact same thing that it did before, but it's going to do a couple extra steps to be able to render this out for me. And by the way, the reason why I went to the Austin real estate is because this is my Claude. And if I try to do this in any other place, it's going to work off of my business instead of the Austin real estate. So I just wanted to keep it in one place so you can see it. But as you can see, it's reading the skill and it's coming up with a game. And by the way, if you're finding this content helpful and you want to be able to install everything that I'm talking about very easily, I put together a free resource guide for you that walks you through all of the 4 T steps that I've put together in each level, and along with the exact step-by-step guide in order to create the projects, everything you need to copy into your Claude conversations, how to train and create skills just like mine, or get this, you can just get the repo yourself and use that inside of your Claude conversations as well. And so you can download the skill and get all of that. All you have to do is head to the description below or use the QR code that's on the screen. And now that the skill is done running, what you can see is it's given you a little bit of a report on what has happened in the research phase. And then it created this artifact that you have access to right inside of your Claude conversation. And what's really great about this is it's going to give reporting on different stats based off of your market and based off of the research that you're doing inside of your niche. And so this is showing me the median house price in Austin currently, the months of inventory, the active listings year over year. And it's showing this to me in a very easy way to read rather than having to go through conversations like we've seen in the past. And as we scroll down, we've got great ideas, what 500K actually buys in Austin right now, and how to set up a hook, and the call to action that could be helpful here as well. And the POV type video, you just took the Austin job offer. This is really great for like reaching people that are relocating or could potentially be relocating. And it gives you plenty of ideas, hooks, content, and what you can do as far as call to actions to get people to comment or reach out to you as well. And then finally at the end, it does give you your move this week, the things that you can be doing, and a step-by-step guide so you can work alongside of it. So one thing I do want to make a note of here is that I never obviously want to oversell AI or tell you things that it can't actually do. And at this point, this is incredible at researching your market and finding things in real time, including your niche and the market and everything that you're seeing, like this page here at the top. What it can't do though is, or at least right out of the box, is it can't go read your competitors' Instagram posts. So it's not going to be connecting to Instagram and seeing what XYZ person is posting. There are ways that you can do it, but out of the box inside of just a conversation here, there's no way for it to research what other users are doing or other creators are doing on site or inside of what other creators are doing in Instagram. All you have to do is take screenshots of your competitors, add them to the conversation when you're putting together the skill so that it can do research based off of what they're using and what they're posting as well. The real engine here though, of course, is the market research. And honestly, it's about to get a lot more powerful. So let's jump into level 3, which is the tool. So now that we're at level 3, we actually start to implement tools into the system. We've gotten a chance to set up the correct prompting, the context, the memory, the report itself all into one place. But now we're taking it up a level by adding tools, and let me show you exactly what I mean. Now we've come to the place where we can add something like send this report to myself via email, so that it doesn't matter where I'm at. I don't even have to be on Claude. I don't have to be in Claude. I don't have to be anywhere near it. Now I can get an email with all of the reporting that we just saw above. And so let me show you what that means here. And what we actually do is we head over to Cowork. And when you're in Cowork, what you're going to do is go to the chat conversation, and you're going to add a new conversation. And I'm just going to say, hey, using the lead gen content plan skill, the skill we've already put together, build my weekly content plan for Austin real estate, then draft it into my email to brian@leverantlabs.com. Now, when I do this, there's a couple things that happen, and let me zoom out for you. We have the opportunity to add connectors. And so if you go to this plus sign and you click on plus and click on connectors, there are a ton of connectors that you can add. And what is a connector? It's basically a tool outside of Claude that you might use inside of your business that you can connect to Claude so that they work together. Basically, Claude Cowork is an agent that can work in other platforms. And it's kind of wild, but what's really cool is I can connect Gmail. And now that my Gmail is connected, it can read my emails, it can draft emails, it can do all of those things inside of my email. Now, the only thing that it doesn't have the ability to do really is to actually send the email. So I can have it draft it, but it won't send for me, which is actually kind of like a safety net so that it doesn't send emails for you to random people or do things without your consent, basically. But I can add my email, and what happens here is after it's all done, the research is done, and the report is built, I'm going to find a draft inside of my Gmail that I can use and access no matter where I'm at. And what's sweet about the connectors is you can do so much more. You can just see some of the ones I've got connected, like Canva or Google Drive or HubSpot or Notion. If I wanted to, instead of sending myself an email, I could say create a Notion page. And that way I can go to Notion whenever I need to and see all of the reports all in one place. And that works across devices. And I don't have to be on Claude Cowork or anything like that. It just gives me access across platforms and across apps. And while it is working, it's going to start prompting you every once in a while for things that you have to approve on. Once you've done it once, it will start to work for you regularly. But here it's asking, do you want me to create the artifact? Yes, create it. And so now we can see what we've already created in the previous conversations just within Cowork. And now that it's got this, it's going to start working on the email that it's going to send to me. And now that it's all done, it says done, built your weekly Austin real estate content plan, and it lives in this artifact here, and drafted the summary to your email. So let's go over to the email and I'll show you what that looks like. Here it is inside of my drafts. This is what I ended up getting. You can see right here, I got this, and it gives me all of what we were looking for before, where it says, here's the summary, the numbers, the weeks, this week's posts, and then your move this week as well. So it gives me the entire summary. And as soon as I'm ready, I can head over to Cowork and I can look at all the details, but this at least gives me the summarized report so that I have everything I need right inside of my email. And easily accessible as well. So just then, an agent researched my market, wrote a strategy, designed a report, delivered it, and I didn't do anything to make it happen except for press go. That right there is a real AI agent, but it does still need me to press go. So here in level 4, we're going to fix that. Level 4, it honestly kind of feels like magic, and it's honestly way more simple than you might think. And the idea here with level 4 is we're going to trigger our agent. We're going to run, deliver with nobody watching, and we just have to put everything into a schedule. And like I said, it's more simple than you might be even thinking at this point. So I'm going to go back to that Claude Cowork conversation that we just had in level 3. And what's really cool about this is it's already asking, like, do you want me to be a fully autonomized agent here? And what I mean by that, it says, want me to run this automatically every Monday morning? And the answer is yes. Set up a scheduled agent every Monday at 7 a.m. And so now it is going to trigger itself every Monday morning at 7 a.m. to run this same report based off of the latest updates, the latest news, the latest reports, and create this same summarized report for me via HTML code here, as well as an email in my drafts. And now it's asking here is to schedule it. And so yes, it's built not just the skill itself, but it's connected everything that we need into one very easy schedule. I click on schedule, and once it's done, it's going to set this up to run every Monday morning at 7 a.m. And I love that it does give a tip. One tip: first run will pause to approve tools. And so let's just say run now. And so running now, it's going to start going through the process and ask me for the approvals of what it will require, meaning approvals to draft the email and approval to do the research. But once it gets the approval once, then it is good to go. And as you can see out on this screen, it does say I can't trigger this scheduled task right now. And that's no problem. If you were to do it right from here, it's not going to work because it just did that inside of the regular chat conversation. What you have to do is go back and open up this sidebar and look underneath scheduled. And at scheduled, you're looking for the one with the yellow yield sign. It just means it's not working yet. You can click on this automated task, and it is looking for everything it needs to get all of the approvals. I'm just going to press run now. And when I do that, it's going to go through the whole process. I can press view, and it's going to show up right here, and the entire process is running. And once it gets to the approvals, I'll click approved, and then it will run automatically for me. Now, that being said, I actually ran and did all of this in advance yesterday and got it all set up so that this morning I would get a draft as well. So let me show you what that looks like. And here it is. This is actually what I got this morning at 7 a.m. And so instead of waiting until Monday and making it run that way, I was just like, hey, let's get this ready for the video. And I made it run for this morning through an automated schedule. So I triggered it. And here's what we see. Instead of getting the summarized report that we got in level 3, we actually get a much more detailed report that shows you everything that's on that HTML code or like artifact that Claude calls it. And now we're seeing all of it in detail here, right within the email, along with the sources, all in one place. And that is the power of level 4. On Monday morning, I'm going to get this same report drafted in my emails so I can look at it. I can plan my day and plan my content, all because of this simple AI agent that we just installed. So that is the 4 T's: teach, train, tool, and trigger. So where should you stop? Honestly, wherever you feel the most comfortable today. If you're brand new, just teach it and train it. So give it all the information about your business and what you're looking for. And that alone is going to save you hours every week. If you got a little extra time, maybe 10 or 15 or maybe even 20 minutes, if you're really starting from scratch, then you can build the report and send the email and add the tools and trigger this to run every week. Need all 4 to win? Not at all. At the very least, start at level 1 and train the exact instructions that we ran through, the skill file and the report template into a free pack. Grab it at the link below, plug it into your business, and you've got your first agent running in an afternoon. And this opened up your eyes to what's actually possible with AI right now. Do me a favor, just hit subscribe. I'm going to be building more and more in public, and I want to answer the questions that you have. So leave me a comment on what I should be building next, and I'll see you in the next one.